and it's going to be a very quick introduction. The series I'm planning on calling this will be, henceforth, Rockmanholic Buyer. Why that? Well, because one, I was just listening to the Rockmanholic album, and I figures like, you know, since I'm spending a lot of money on these action figures, specifically Mega Man, might as well just, do that. And that's really all I had to say. Really, I had to redraft this every time for the introduction, but I was like, nah, this is good enough. So enjoy the video. What's up, people of YouTube? It's your boy Zelkilat here, and on today's episode, we're gonna be unboxing more Mega Man action figures. Yeah. Originally, I was gonna unbox this myself, but I actually spent way longer of trying to opening this thing than I care to admit. Jesus Christ, this thing was sealed very shut. Yeah, I ordered some more Mega Man action figures. Well, kinda. They're not exactly action figures per se, they're more or less like another vinyl figures. Now, like this said before, usually I'm not interested in vinyl figures. I prefer, action figures of sorts, or at least something with some degree of posability. But these are special. These, when I was just scrolling through Mercari, looking for some Mega Man figures to add to my collection, I found a lot of 4 different Mega Man figures from a weird brand I never heard of. Now, this brand is very interesting because I actually did some research on this thing, and even then, like, there's barely any context about what these things are and the people who make them. And I'll tell you more about that soon. But for now, I'm just gonna open this up and show you a lot of these figures. Here we have Proto Man, Guts Man, Black Man, and finally the guy who I keep showing a lot and practically shill for, Mega Man. And here we have all these figures together, and these are from a line called Bubble Buds. Fun fact, I have to say that out loud multiple times because every time I say it, I sound like fucking Mushmouth.
What'd you say, dum-dum?
I don't know! I never thought I'd be referencing Fat Albert in the Mega Man video, but anyway. Yeah, so Bubble Buds, from what I can gather, these were basically tiny, like, bubble heads. They're practically like akin to like Funko Pops of sorts. But they're also like bobbleheads too, which I kind of forget they are. These were released in 2012, and around that same time, Funko Pop would have been, booming at that point. And everybody wanted a piece of that Funko pie, so everyone did their own thing, like Kid Robot and Bubble Buds. Now, Bubble Buds, from what I found out, they were, I'm not sure if they were made by or distributed by, but every time I look up information, they always refer to them as SOTA. Yes, that's SOTA. If you don't know who the hell that is, SOTA was a company, I'm not sure if they're still around or not, it's a company that produced those superposable Street Fighter figures. Yeah, that same SOTA. I only know this because when I was looking up information about these, they mentioned SOTA, and I saw a listing for these figures on Big Bad Toy Store, and they showed the manufacturer and it said SOTA. What's even crazier is that I also looked up online about why these were made, and why each characters just have the same body, same everything. They kind of remind me of these old, you know, those old Cartoon Network mascots, you know, the little tiny blank canvas body things back, you know, those.
Let me go! No! Stop! No!
Those weird Cartoon Network things. Yeah, they kind of remind me of that. They all just share the same body with just different deco of paint. And apparently that's what they were going for. They were having these neutral bodies so they could just reuse them over and over again. And I found that they also did it on other characters like Saints Row and Street Fighter. They did more Street Fighter than they did with Mega Man, because I know they say it's stage 1, but you're looking at the only fucking complete wave that I have in my collection, and they didn't even bother doing more. Well, there is another one. There is a Servbot Bubble Butts, but I don't have that figure, and I cannot find listings of it. But this whole lot, like, these figures are not expensive at all. This literally costed me $23. And back then, these figures were priced at $4.99. So together, it was about $20. And I've seen people selling these guys for a lot of money, but I'm pretty sure these things are now worth a lot. And Bubble Butts, it just died. It just went in the way of the dinosaurs, and nobody's ever heard of the company. And I even found out that they had a website, and nothing. The website is completely dead, but for some reason their Twitter page is still up. I don't know why it's still up, but it just is. Yeah, this is, every time I try looking information from this company, it's just like, it's all over the place. But enough about me talking and babbling about this weird history with this fucking company. Let's just talk about the figures individually. As soon as I figure out how to open these things, yeah. Actually, these things were not that hard to open. I just had to untab like the little thing in the back, and there you go. The first figure we're going to be looking at is Mega Man. Because I'm pretty sure you guys are not tired of seeing him. And up close, like, honestly, for this body type that they chose, it works pretty well for Mega Man. Like, it's a pretty nice shape, and Mega Man has a very, very simplistic design, so it's pretty hard to fuck it up. Well, I know Funko did, but we're not gonna be talking about those guys. This is Bubble Butt's turn. And yeah, I can't really say much about, you know, sculpting wise, because again, these are blank bodies. They're just bobbleheads that actually, you know, bobble. But the cool thing about this figure is that you can remove his hand. Can I remove it? Yeah, you can remove the hand and replace it with the Mega Buster. Oops. I could try putting that in. Yeah, I have no idea how much of a struggle this was to put that thing on. And also the pegs are very, very thin and small, so if you ever decide to get these figures, or at least Mega Man and Pro Man, since they're the only ones with actual accessories, do be careful with that. So yeah, here's Mega Man and his Mega Buster, and they actually bother sculpting the Mega Buster. Like, they didn't just leave it just one, like, oval, oblong shape Buster and just painted the detail. They actually bothered sculpting the little yellow part and the cannon. Like, it's not just a paint decal, it's they actually bother sculpting in the little, like, nozzle in the Buster. So yeah, I can say it is pretty nice that they did that. Has some articulation, like the hands can move and the fists can rotate. That's about it, really. It's not like you're gonna have these guys do some crazy poses. Well, these are bobbleheads after all. Yeah, they just do their job and just move their heads around like as if like What Is Love is playing in the background. And also I just realized that the box for these things, they used the Rockman Complete Works art. This is from Rockman Complete Works 1. How many times are we gonna have to see companies using the Complete Works artwork for these merchandise? Like, I talked about a while ago, like, hang on a second. I'm not sure if I ever did mention this or not in my last video, but when I was unboxing those lot of Mega Man figures, I looked at this other one by Funko, and they have done the same thing too. Like, they use the artwork from Rockman Complete Works 3. And I'm just sitting here like, does everyone, like, just use artwork from this specific Mega Man? Because it seems like they, like, every time I see Mega Man merch, they always use, like, the Complete Works artwork. Heck, even Jada Toys is guilty of that, and even, like, Jack Specific, because I do own, like, the 2-pack of Cutman and Mega Man, and they use, guess what? The Complete Works art versions of the Robot Masters. I just wanted to point that out. It is pretty weird that every Mega Man merch I've seen just use the Complete Works versions. That's enough about Mega Man. I got nothing really new to say about this, other than, you know, just the weirdness of this guy. Now the next action, well, I wouldn't call them action figures, but the next little figurine we got here is Elecman. I know you're probably expecting Proto Man, but I'm gonna save him for later. And this is probably like the first or second Elecman figure we ever looked at on this channel. And I know I did say that the Mega Man one was the nicest looking one, but what is it with Elecman figures being ugly? I mean, okay, granted, he's not as ugly as the Kid Robot figure. At least he actually has a fucking nose for once. But the thing I don't like about it is, like, I don't know, something about it looks off. And also, when I try taking him out of the package, I accidentally popped his head off. And he doesn't really bobble as much. I mean, the neck is pretty short. Pretty short neck. That's kind of disappointing. Not much to say about Elecman. It's just, again, these have they have the same body. It's not like the Kid Robot figure where they actually bother sculpting in the little collar piece. They didn't do that for this guy, and he has no accessories, so you can't really have him, like, hold anything. There is no effect part for his Thunder Beam. Really nothing. It's kind of a little bit disappointing that he cannot move his head around willy-nilly. I wish I had more to say about this guy, but no. Again, these figures are, again, they share the same body, so I don't know what else I could say other than he just exists. But it is pretty cool that they made an Elecman figure, because like I said before, these Mega Man characters don't really get much recognition when it comes to, like, merchandise, especially for the Robot Masters. You know, I'm not just generally surprised that they didn't went with Cutman, although they probably had to sculpt a new head for him, just put his rolling cutter. Rolling cutter. Why the hell I had a hard time pronouncing that? But hey, at least they actually went with someone that's not Cutman again, because Cutman just gets a lot of merch for some reason. I'm not even sure if he's even popular or not. He just does. Now you go over there and be with Mega Man, you weird freak of nature. Next in our list is Gutsman. Yup, this is probably the first Gutsman figure we're taking a look at, and why is his neck so deep? The fuck? Come on, can these things actually bobble? Why is Mega Man the only one that's like you could just... Oops. This is the first Gutsman figure we taking a look at on this channel. And for being the very first Gutsman figure I have, honestly, doesn't look too bad. I mean, it's kind of weird that they took a very beefy Robot Master and turn him into a tiny, tiny, small version of himself, but yet somehow I can easily, tell it's Gutsman. Again, the bobblehead feature is not that great. I don't know if these copies are defective or Mega Man's like the only one that's not like that. It's not that bad. It's got the details of Gutsman. He's got his ass. Fucking Sakurai nerfed the shit out of his ass, but that's okay. I could just edit that in post. I hope you guys like that little skit I just did. And again, it's not... What the... Oh! Did his neck just extended when I just did that? Huh. I guess he did. Now he just moved his head around. Get your fucking heart out, Alec, man. Yeah, I have nothing to say about this guy. He's just... a thing. I'm gonna stop that right now. And the last figure in this lot is Scott McNeil, Proto Man. Yeah, the very first Proto Man figure we're taking a look at. It's kind of funny how he's the only character with more accessories, and these retail at $4.99, so honestly, bang for your buck with that one. Not even like World Nintendo figurines even came with that many accessories. I know it's like $2 doesn't sound a lot, but hey, I'm happy just to get at least, something. Although, when I was changing, like, the interchangeable hands, I noticed that, I just realized that... Hang on, get Mega Man over here. That all they did was they recolored Proto Man's cannon blue for Mega Man, and it's very weird how Mega Man's cannon just looks a lot like Proto Man. Now I just realized that, because this is what Proto Man's cannon should look like. And also, yeah, the shield is holding a very weird position because that's how it is. It's pretty weird that they decided to, like, just use Proto Man's cannon and just painting the blue for Mega Man. Usually be the other way around, like, just have him, like, kind of like what Loyal Subjects did. I'm not sure if Loyal Subjects actually did do that. I do have the Proto Man Loyal Subjects figure, I just don't know where he is. Oh wait, never mind. He's actually right next to me this whole time, and... Nope, they actually gave him his proper buster. I don't have a Mega Man version, but... Yeah, this is actually my very first Proto Man figure. So I now have 2 of them in my collection. The detail on this guy is pretty nice. Again, I know they just used this exact same body, but these are not bad at all. And yes, he can hold his shield. I know it's a very weird angle, and the front doesn't look too bad. But when you look at it from here, it's like, the fuck? Well, that's because of how this thing is, made. Instead of just having the shield, like the little, like, handle going like the other way around, like I don't know how to explain it, but they put it in a slight angle, and I don't know why they did that. They could just have it like, I don't know. The position is very weird. And for some reason, it's a lot more easier to remove his hands than Mega Man, because these things really wanted to pop out so badly. But yet, for some reason, getting the arm cannons in is very difficult. Because again, these pegs are very, very, very small, and they seem very fragile, and I don't want to break a figure that's about 13 years old. Oh yeah, and also if you're wondering how I feel about the face, it's alright, I suppose. I don't think he looks a lot like Proto Man. I think the Loyal Subject figure looks a little bit more like Proto Man than this figure. But then again, like, these things are just meant to be blank canvases, so you could just, yeah, they even sold Bubble Buds that are just completely blank, so you could just paint over it your damn self. In fact, that's what the company was banking on, so they could reduce costs. But these things didn't sell too well. As I mentioned before, like, the website shut down, but yet somehow their Twitter page is still up. And nobody ever heard of these things ever again. These are pretty nice little bobbleheads, all things considered. Sure, like I said before, they are just sharing the same body mold. They're all just blank canvases. But at the same time, like, I know I've been critical on some of these, but they're pretty nice figures. Overall, like, The Mega Man 1 is probably my favorite of them all because just how accurate he looks. The second would be Gutsman. But they're by no way I'm saying that they're all bad. These are pretty nice little bobbleheads, and for the price point that these were sold for back in the day, I say that, yeah, they're pretty nice. However, there are, well, I wouldn't say they're hard to get a hold of, but if you can find the 4 figures for cheap, I know they're being sold for like 40 to, no, not 40, 30 to $20. I say those are the good price point to pay for all 4 of them. I know some of them are being sold for roughly around that same price point, but then I saw figures like Proto Man being sold for $2. $2. So if you can find the figures being priced at 10 or even that cheap, I say go for it. Because these are really nice looking bobbleheads. Certainly a hell of a lot better than the ones that they released for the 15th anniversary. Like, Jesus Christ, why do they all look like they have, like... I am not even gonna make that joke. These are really good bobbleheads. It's kind of a shame that the company that made them kind of went defunct after that, but I still find it funny how not only that their Twitter page is still up, Sota of all people like made these. I read something they say they had or just distribute these, but I don't know. Like, it's kind of weird how they went from superposable Street Fighter figures to this. I mean, I know they also made a Tomb Raider figure too, but Jesus Christ. I think Angelina Jolie should have sued them for that. So overall, pretty good figure set. Also, I already plan on making a 4th episode for Rockmanholic, so stay tuned for that. But before I do that, I'm going to take a break from the Mega Man stuff. I know that's like, it's slowly growing on my channel, and I'm very appreciative that you guys like this style of content. Although I would prefer if I just do more animations, but those take forever, and these are a lot easier for me to do. But it doesn't mean I'm not gonna do any in the long run. I will still do them, just be very patient with me, and for the people who still stayed with me, I am very thankful that you guys have stayed with me. I know I haven't been the best with providing content, especially frequently. I am not a machine. I have other things to do. And again, making content is pretty hard. Even stuff like this, because unfortunately, I don't have the free time to film. And this is the only time I had to get a chance to do this. So until then, I hope you guys enjoy this content. And again, I will make more of this in the future. But until then, this series is gonna be very slow. So hopefully you guys like what I have in store for you. Now before I sign off, I will give you a hint on the next video similar to this, because I am planning on doing another somewhat of an unboxing video, but not with Mega Man. The character I'm going to be doing that on, well, he's a different kind of man, and I'm a huge fan of that series too. So until then, I'll see you all next time. Bye.